Okay, on this front wall right here, there's a ledge that sticks out right there. Excuse me. And the way I created this is I opened up the existing wall sweep. And if you go open, I'm going to open a family. So I just went to my Imperial Library, down to Profiles, Wall, and I opened this sill precast wall sweep family. Well, it's not a wall sweep, but it is a sweep profile. So I opened that and I edited it. Excuse me. And then I saved it and I called it a sill precast. And what I did is I deleted this line and then used my join fillet to bring that back to a square. And then if we come up here, let's see, is it here? Nope. Here we go. And I created a new family type and I called it 3 inches wide. Excuse me. Um, and then I deleted all the other 3. So I created one and called it 3 inches wide, and I deleted all the other 3. And I made this thing. I made it 3 inches wide, insets into the wall. I said 2 inches because that's the thickness of my stone veneer that we're using. And I made the height of it 1 inch, I believe is what I did. And then I did okay, and then I saved it and loaded it into my project here. And then in my floor plan, I popped in a wall section just so I can see it, see what it is and look at it. And then in my south elevation view, that's where I drew it in place. And I'll pop over to realistic here so you can see it a little bit better. And I just did wall sweep, and I had to create a new, excuse me, a new sweep. So you know the drill: edit type, duplicate, um, named it a stone ledge, brought in the new profile right here, set my material to limestone, and then I drew it out across here. Okay, popped it in place, got the end set up, and then I used my section to move it up and align it to the top of uh, my stacked wall. The problem being right now is we don't know exactly how high that's going to be until we get the windows put in. So we'll have to come back and edit that. Okay, a couple of other things on this house. If you look at your plans, kind of look them over, and your wall section is on sheet number 5. And so looking at the wall section, the plywood sheathing on the exterior of the wall comes down over the floor system and then butts against the foundation wall, so that the exterior side of the plywood sheathing is aligned with the exterior side of the concrete. So when you set up your wall types, let me pop in and I will show you. Your wall studs and your plywood sheathing should be inside the core. Okay. And then as we create these things, we're going to align them. Come to right here. And you can see that the exterior of the wall sheathing, which would be this line right there where my mouse is, that's what I'm aligning to my grid line. And then all of my dimensions, the way the textbook shows this, or excuse me, not the textbook, the way the drawings show dimensioning let me get to the floor plan. They're dimensioning from face of core to face of core. So if you look at your floor plan on sheet 3, let's look at the garage. You've got a dimension across there of 20 feet 5 inches, and then on either side of that you've got a 4-inch dimension. Well, the 4 inches is the thickness of the wall core, the 2x4 stud and the 1/2-inch sheathing. Okay, so you just got to remember all of these dimensions dealing with wood framing on the floor plan are going to be from face of stud on the interior side or face of sheathing on the exterior side. So you're just gonna have to play with that a little bit. And so that's what I used when I was popping in my interior walls. Oh, we got a little funky thing there going on when I replaced that wall, so I have to fix that. And that's still lined up okay. So when you're dimensioning, you do want to make sure that you're pulling a dimension to the core side and not the finished side of the wall. Okay, so let me go ahead. Oh, it's still not doing it because of the wall. I'll fix that in a minute. Okay, these little walls right here in the closet, it shows them as being a 1.5-inch thick core dimension. So basically what they're doing, they're building this wall, but they're turning the 2x4s sideways so that they're flat. So you got to create a wall for that in which your core is only 1.5 inches thick, but you got 1/2-inch drywall on either side of that. Okay, I'm still curious as to why that is. Oh, that's why it didn't change, because I had it pinned already. It still didn't change. Okay, I'll have to fix that. Now, when I created my exterior walls, I want them to go from top of foundation wall. Okay, so top of foundation, which is 11.5 inches down from the first floor. There's several different ways to do these things, and in this class we're gonna do it this way, as you'll see later when we get into it as to why. So when you create your walls, you can. I did it on my first floor plan, okay, but I set the parameters for the wall. I set the base constraint to top of foundation, top constraint to my level, first top of wall level. All of my interior walls, though, go from first floor up to top of wall. Okay, and when we create our floor system, you'll see it's going to cut out a void for the in those exterior walls. So that's kind of the reason for that. There's a note right in here in dealing with the raised floor over here over the stairways. So we'll look at that when we get around to that point when we're dealing with floors and stuff. And so I would recommend, as you put your walls in, you can do all your dimensions here. Once everything is correct, then pin all of your walls in place. Select them all and pin them so that they will not move. And then save it, make a backup. And I think that pretty well covers all of the first floor wall stuff. I do need to deal with the right here across for the wood stove fireplace thing, so we'll deal with that shortly. And see where it goes. All right. If you got questions, shoot me an email, come see me.